be doing an oil change on a 2007 Toyota Corolla. So what I've got are the essentials: your oil filter, your oil filter wrench, and today I'm actually going to be using a claw system to take off the oil filter. It's a little bit easier. And then your various sockets and everything to drain the oil and, you know, put the drain plug back on. So what we're going to go ahead and do is start draining the oil. I've already inspected the bottom of it and located that this is a drain plug, so we're going to go ahead and crack that loose and go ahead and spin that bolt out and let that completely drain. Okay, now is a good time to check the drain plug gasket. Just check for any tears, any leaks that could have possibly happened. This one is good at this time. Now we're going to go ahead and screw the drain plug back on. Make sure you do it by hand. Don't use any kind of power tools, air tools to put that on, because you could possibly strip out the threading on the oil pan. We're going to actually torque this down a little bit. Just go nice and snug. You don't need to go real tight because it does have a gasket that is protecting it from leaking. Okay, so we've ensured that it's nice and tight now. Now we're going to move to the oil filter. We've located the oil filter on this particular vehicle. It is right here. On various vehicles, there's going to be various locations. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at the shop and we'll be more than happy to help you out locating and advising on various vehicles. Okay, the tool I used today was the oil filter claw wrench, which just sits on the filter, and as you loosen, it actually tightens up, and then as you would tighten, it would actually open up a little bit bigger. The other type I have is just the oil filter slip wrench, which slips right over, and then you could just take it off using that motion. But on various vehicles, it's a little bit harder to get this whole handle in there, so it's easier just to use the claw wrench. So we're going to go ahead and let this drain out because there will be residual oil in the filter. Now completely unscrew the oil filter, and it can make a mess, so make sure you do have some kind of pan underneath you. This is a used oil filter. Once you take it off, make sure that the O-ring came off with it, because there are instances where it will get stuck on the oil filter housing, and if you do that, you'll leak oil as soon as you start it up. At this time, it is crucial to oil the O-ring of the new oil filter so that way it does not get stuck like I illustrated before. So just take a little dab of oil on your finger and just slightly lubricate that, and then you're ready to install the new filter. And we are inserting the new filter. Make sure you thread it on by hand. And go ahead and go hand tight. That's all that you need. So now we're going to go ahead and fill the oil. Look around your engine for typically a cap that says, I'll pull off the oil filter cap for you guys. It's typically going to give you an API and oil rating. Make sure that you use the oil stated on this, unless it's an extreme high mileage vehicle. Then you're going to go to a little heavier weight just to help lubricate the engine a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and set that off to the side, and it makes it a little bit easier if you use a funnel to fill it with, and fill it to the appropriate amount for this vehicle. It's 4.4 quarts. If you have questions about how many quarts of oil your vehicle takes, just give me a call down here and I'll be able to help you out. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start the car. And like I illustrated before, check underneath the vehicle for any leaks. Make sure there's no oil, pouring out, leaking out. That means you did a great job. So some vehicles do have a maintenance required light that is separate from the check engine light, and that will come on every 3,000 miles for an oil change. So we're going to go ahead and reset this. Every vehicle will be different, but this particular one, you'll press and hold down the odometer reading button as you turn on the key, and you just wait for the flashing lights to go down to 0. Then it'll give you that, and your maintenance light is off.